All right, guys, Opus 4.8 is here. I'm going to talk about all of the changes that they rolled out with Opus 4.8. We're going to talk about how it affects SEO as well. I'm going to talk about some pro tips, how to get the most bang for your buck when using Claude 4.8 so you can make it 10x, 20x better. So let's dive in and talk about all the changes, how it's going to affect you, how it's going to affect SEO, and all the things. Let's go. So the first biggest change is, of course, the performance. So here is the breakdown of all the performance related to the Opus 4.7, ChatGPT 5.5, Gemini. So of course they're going to say that it's out of the box a much better performing tool, which in a lot of ways it definitely is. They've been making some really big strides in how this thing is performing. So here are the biggest kind of takeaways, the biggest changes. The first thing is honesty, and I'm going to talk about this more in a little bit, but they train their models to be honest. So for instance, to avoid making claims that they can't support, but a general problem with AI models is that they sometimes jump to conclusions, confidently claiming to have made progress in their work despite the evidence being thin. Early testers report that Opus 4.7 is more likely to flag uncertainties about its work and less likely to make unsupported claims. This is borne out of our evaluations, which show that 4.8 is around 4 times less likely than its predecessor to allow flaws in code it has written to pass unmarked. So here's kind of the misaligned behavior. So this is good. I think a lot of AI models, they tell you, you ask them something and they give you a solution or a time frame or whatever. That's just not really that accurate. Like I know, like, hey, this can be picked apart. I'm going to give you some tips here in a little bit that's going to help you pick this apart a little bit more. But a lot of AIs give you like the shiny rainbow version, and it's like, you know that it's not going to be like that. So we can this is doing a better job of giving you a more realistic version or output. But there's things that we can do to kind of take it even to the next level. Because a lot of times, like, oh, it's going to be so easy to make $10,000 in 1 month. Here you do it, A, B, C, D, and then boom, you have $10,000. It's like, come on, man. We know that it's not that simple. It's not going to work like that. So that's one of the bigger things here. All right. So also they have released dynamic workflows. So you can basically, in this feature available in research preview, allows Claude to take an even bigger tasks in Claude code. Claude can plan the work, then run hundreds of parallel sub-agents in a single session. Then it verifies the output before reporting back to the user. So basically it's running. It's kind of similar to goal mode if you guys have used that, but basically it produces an output and then sends it to another agent to verify the output, then sends it back. So similar to that, you can have multiple agents working at one time on one task. Effort, so this is pretty cool. Effort controlled in Claude AI and co-work. So a new control alongside the model selector lets users choose how much effort Claude puts into a response. Higher effort uses more tokens, of course. So if you go in here, you can set your model, so Opus 4.8, but then here you can set the effort. So it defaults to high, but you can do extra and then max, which is pretty cool. So sometimes depending on the more complex task, you want it to do more effort, but for everyday tasks, you want to keep that, lower so it doesn't burn through all your stuff. So I think it's good to have that option. In past models, I think more effort could have been applied, and then it just finished the task and kind of half-assed it when it should have spent more time on the task. The Messages API now accepts inquiries inside of the messages array. I haven't really messed with this because I'm not a developer, but I think this is more for developers. And then what's next? And we're going to dive into some context for SEO here in a second. But users will find to be the most tangible improvement. They're talking about releasing the Claude Mythos, which this has been a crazy model that's performing insanely, but it's more for cybersecurity because it is very, very dangerous. So that's coming. Maybe, I don't know if that'll come to the general public anytime soon. All right, so here's some things in terms of like SEO. So the effort control. So I think this is good if you're running like lots of complex tasks. You want to basically improve the effort. So if you're doing, content autopilot, where you're basically running an analysis on competitors and generating content ideas and keyword lists and SERP markdowns and all these things, you want more effort to go in competitor analysis, more effort to be involved if you're using that for SEO content, because it is going to be important that it finds the best stuff for you. Honesty mode. So this I think is good. If you're using this to get content ideas or analyze websites or things like that, that it's giving you more reliable outputs of the information that you're using to make business decisions. So I think the honesty thing is going to be really, really important. Better browser agent. So you can link Claude and use Claude at Chrome, and then it can use the browser to do SERP scraping, competitor listing audits, GBP research. So this is working better. So if you want to download it, just go on Chrome and search Claude Chrome, because a lot of websites block scraping, but if you use the Chrome extension, that's a workaround. So that works really, really good. And then obviously cheaper fast mode for high volume publishing. So if you're using like the API integration and integrating with MCPs and APIs and other platforms, this is going to be a little bit cheaper. So I did a test earlier, and this is definitely working better. So I use this prompt here. This is for technical audit here. And so this is, if you want this prompt, type prompt below, but this is for a technical SEO audit of any website. So this prompt's really, really cool. But if you go in here, you can kind of see how this works. So we can go here and do this high, and we can set the effort to extra. And so it's going to take more time, but the output's going to be so much better. So let's just give it a website to audit. Here's a Miami chiropractor. But this is a great prompt for your website, any of your businesses, clients, whatever. But I ran this compared to 4.7, and the analysis and the information is so much better. So this is already working, I think, a lot better than the other models. Basically, this is stripping out all of the website and doing a complete technical SEO audit, and then we can just go back in and make these changes in the website. So this is really, really cool. So this is one of the prompts in here. There's other prompts too. So this prompt is probably my other favorite one. It'll analyze all your competition, find gaps in the market, produce content based on keywords and based on content clusters and everything that you should be doing in terms of SEO content, and then it'll give you the output as far as the titles and the keywords it's focusing on, and then you can connect to Arvow's API here to produce the articles. And this is awesome because you're using Claude's brain, you're using this brain here, and then you can incorporate all of your assets, so your sitemap, your knowledge base, your website. So basically it's using Claude to create the SEO foundation for your articles, and then it's using Arvow, who is a master at creating blog content, SEO blog content, creating the articles, automatically publishing them on your website, so you can just sit back and get traffic. And it's not AI slop because it's using all your brand assets, and it's writing them in a way that is introducing new concepts, new content, original content around your brand. So this is what Google's looking for. This is what AI is looking for. So that's why it's really, really powerful. So that prompt is awesome as well. And it's automated. So you can automate all your blog content, and then you can hook up Blotato and then automate all of your social media content as well from your RSS feed, from your SEO blog content, which is crazy. So here it did this technical SEO audit for this chiropractor, and it gave you all the results here: crawlability, indexability. And it's easy to see this: pass, fail, mobile pass. So here are the critical things that you need to fix. Here are the high priority things, and then here are the medium things, and then low priority, right? And then it goes over what's working well, top 3 action. So it's almost like they've simplified it. It does more in-depth analysis, but it's also simpler as far as like takeaways and action items, as far as how this is set up, which is really, really nice. And it's fast. This is probably 10 times faster. I ran this analysis hundreds of times before, and it's always been a lot longer. That took probably less than a minute, I don't even know, to run this. All right, so those are some SEO takeaways. Here are how to use this to get the most bang for your buck, because these are things that people are still messing up. So the first thing is give it a why. A lot of people are just telling it what not to do, but they're not giving it a why. And Claude does a really good job at looking at all your conversations to get a complex picture of you, your business, what you normally do. So if you just tell it not to do something and you don't give it a why, it's not going to do it that time, but it's going to always do it in the future if that's what's built into its protocols. So every time you're going to be like, don't do this. So instead, give it a why. So then it's going to learn, okay, you as this business owner doesn't like this. So for future workflows, it's probably going to ask you like, hey, do you want this done this way? Because in the past, you didn't want it done this way because of this reason. For instance, like M dashes. Everyone knows, or you should know, that M dashes are a telltale sign that it was written by AI. So I don't want M dashes in my outputs. But tell it that way. Be like, I don't want M dashes because it seems like it's not written in my brand voice, or it seems like it's written by AI. So then in the future, it's going to know. So give it a why. The prompt still matters a ton, right? So the way that we're prompting it is still important, even though these models are getting better at deciphering what we want, even if we're not prompting really good, because a lot of people are just prompting too generic, and the output's not going to be as good as it could be. So the role, give it a role, like who it is, act as a marketing master or act as an SEO expert. Give it the context of what you want it to do. So this is basically the core of your prompt. Like, I want you to run a technical SEO audit on this company, find reasons or find top priority areas to fix on this website or something like that. Give it the why, because I want the website to perform better. And then the accuracy statement. This is probably outside of the role, this is one of the most important things to getting an amazing output. And a lot of people miss this because you're missing context in your prompt and you don't even realize it. So the AI is going to find that for you and ask you questions about it so you can create a better prompt. So at the end of all of this, tell it to ask you questions so you can complete this task with 95% or more accuracy. This has been a game changer for me. You're going to get such a better output because it's going to ask you questions and you're like, oh, I didn't think about that. And then you're going to learn for future prompting to include those things. But still, every time you're going to get better and better and better. And the AI is going to help you get better because it's going to ask you those clarifying questions. And then also, this is what I talked about earlier, because a lot of our outputs get that shiny, rosy, like, oh, you can do this, or here's the simple thing to do. We want to pick that apart and come up with a better output. So you can ask it to be your sparring partner and find the pros and cons in the solution and or reasons why it may not be the best recommendation, right? So then it's going to give you this output, and then you're going to type that in, and that's make, oh wait, maybe this isn't the best. Here's a better way to attack this. So it's going to pick apart its own output, and you're going to help it do that. So this is really, really valuable. So that's how I'm using it to make it better, whether you're using 4.8 or not. These are going to give you such better outputs. You're going to 10x how you're using Claude and just be so much better at using it. All right, so that is it. That is what's new with 4.8, as well as some pro tips on how to use it to get more bang for your buck. If you want more Claude and SEO insight, watch this video. I'll be back soon with some more stuff for you guys.